Well, I'm glad I got it on a whiteboard, and it just goes to show things never go as planned. Uh, we got the diesel swap here to the F Blue Gwitty, or might call it the Papa Smurf. Not sure. There's a little, we got a little joke, inside joke about the Papa Smurf, but if I'll put a little poll up in the corner here for you guys to vote on. Oh, that'd be cool. Which ones do you want? The F Blue Gwitty or the Papa Smurf? F Blue Gwitty, obviously the truck is blue, and Gwitty's not the last name of the previous owner, but pretty close. So I think it's kind of an interesting play on words, maybe? I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, that's been bumped to the top of the project list. Next, you see another arrow. The Riata is going to be after this truck. My S10 broke a leaf spring and some issues going on with other vehicles, so it's like, I need another car to drive. So, and since all that needs is a headlight, its headlights, and fix the oil level plug, which I broke, it just falls out. So then next, after that, will probably be the K30, and the Fiero is going to get bumped down below the K30, mostly because I got to stick some money into the Fiero yet. I want to get the subframe powder coated, A-arms powder coated, all that stuff. And for the A-arms and stuff, I'm going to buy my own powder coating gun, but for the frame, I don't have an oven big enough for it, and I got quoted like $300 to do it, so that's not bad, I don't think, to get it blasted and powder coated. So, but a little bit of update on either the F Blue Gwitty or Papa Smurf. Cab's a little banged up. When it was at the farm, the previous owner, it was in the freestall, and his dad and brother dragged it out, and when they did, they dragged it out. And the box wasn't bolted on, so they kind of threw it on there, and when they did, they put the box on backwards. Why? I don't know, but they did, and I think that's what caused this. Because on this other side is the exact same spot. But other than that, kind of working on getting the core support out so we could fit that very heavy engine in it. It's supposed to weigh like 1,000 pounds, 1,100 pounds or 900 pounds. I saw kind of conflicting thing. So half-ton setting will not work. Got to go at least a 1-ton setting, and that shortens it up quite a bit, so it's actually going to be kind of hard to get it in here. I got the diesel mounts just sitting in there. That one looks like it will fit in there no problem. That one might be a problem. None of the holes line up. And I gotta go look at the other diesel one cross member. I think there's supposed to be a piece of metal right there that might have got cut out at one point, and which would be for that bolt hole there. So that's going to be a problem. I'm currently working on dropping the transmission and transfer case, and then I'll go back to working on the core support. I gotta wait for it to get a little later in the morning here. It's like 3 in the morning right now, because there's a couple of things I gotta take a grinder to and snip off. But yeah, I mean, pretty much about it for that kind of update. The manifolds from a small block Ford. A little bit of history on this truck. The guy I bought it from was a teenager when he owned his truck, so I got it from a teenager, which is another inside joke amongst my group of friends. So teenagers must have owned this truck, and as teenagers do, they do little goofy things like paint the grill red, paint the front axle red. Rear axle was red, the original one. It's been swapped. Can't think of, there's a couple other little like, parts that hold the core support in are all different fasteners. On that side's the bolts, on this side it's Phillip head screws. So there's that joy. Though the previous owner after he was no longer a teenager, did go through and started fixing the truck up. He changed the harness on it. And the thing with Fords, there's no bulkhead connector like the Chevys do. So when you got to change the harness, you got to change it all. You got to fish it through the firewall and everything. Because I actually helped him with that on this truck. But other than that, well, like the bumper here, you see these notches cut out. I guess that was for the body lift. Instead of getting the brackets you need for it, you just notch the bottom of the bumper. But the body lift must be out of the truck because there is definitely no body lift in the front of this truck. I mean, she's, if anything, I think it's shimmed wrong because that's actually resting on the frame and I don't think that's right. But anyways, back to a little bit of history of this truck. When my buddy bought it, he paid a lot of money for this truck. And it was all blue. Nice. Looked nice. Pretty. And there's like metal flake in this paint and stuff like that. So, I mean, the paint on this truck at one time was really nice. But there's a lot of Bondo in it. Kind of, once again, young kid, saw a nice truck, bought it. It had originally a 429 in this truck when he bought it. Supposedly with Cobra Jet heads, supposedly really built. It had a PTO winch that came out the back, and I can show you some of the brackets for that. There's a bunch of the brackets right there, and I actually have parts of that winch that I got from my cousin, who got parts from this guy. But for being a built motor, I mean, this truck got drove pretty hard. You know, as any young kid would do with a lifted truck. You go places you don't belong. And that sums up this truck's life. It was in places it didn't belong. I've actually got some pictures. I'll see if I can insert them in the video of it going through the mud. I got no videos though, unfortunately. But one day he sitting in a parking lot and the motor decided to drop a valve. And there goes the motor. Which we always give him crap for because it blew up idling. We're like, typical Ford. He's a big Ford guy, so. Then it had a 351 in it that was also a pretty stout motor. He eventually sold that because he was going to actually convert this to a diesel. But I bought the truck from him. So he ended up picking up another 6.9. And he was going to do it and then just never did it. Then he was actually going to buy the diesel back from me. We were talking, we were discussing that. And that was about it. It never went beyond that point. And then he put it up for sale, so I'm like, I'll buy it. And I'll do it. So I'm doing the swap he was originally going to do. So, yeah, that's a little bit of story on this truck. Definitely had a rough life. But she's still got life left to it, so ain't gonna let her die yet. But, yep. Kind of a little bit of an update.